Good morning, this is Candace Zarni. I am here today with Joel Bruce Wallach, the inventor of Powerforms. Our subject matter for today is anger relief, and Joel is going to start this session with talking about how to use the neutral space plate and to assist you with anger. Have at it, Joel.
So Candace, here's what's happening with anger. It's obviously not neutral, and so the neutral space plate helps you literally access the state of neutrality. Now, it works in a subtle way. It doesn't push you or force you. And so let's talk about some things we can do. Now, you've heard people say, if you're angry, count to 10, which is pretty brilliant and pretty simple. What if you had access to a neutral space plate? You could place your thumbs like so.
Those are in the center side, centers of the plate on the side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing
Just
it.
like this. Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah. Got it. That immediately starts to balance your left and right side. Now, if you think about how do we define angry people, we say that person's a hothead, that person is out of control, that person's losing it. So when you balance the left and right side of your body, left and right side of your brain, you're going to become, well, more sensible, more sane, more neutral, and able to deal with things. So do that for a few minutes, and it will start to balance the left and right side of your body. And when the left and right brain works together, you tend to be able to look at things from a centered, neutral place. Now, there are more techniques with this, but just start with that one. It's going to balance you, put your left and right together, so you can look at a situation from neutrality. Now, another way to do that is to take your palms and just place them like so. And that also is going to balance the left and right side so your brains work together. See, when your left and right brain is working as one, it's working with your potential. It's not working with your lesser self. So your potential self is able to look at a situation and say, okay, that situation is happening. I, the conscious self, can observe what is happening. So it really makes a difference.
So, Joel, between the two of those, personally, when I put my hands with the plate between my palms, I felt an immediate shift in my energy. Is that because more of my physical is in connection with the plate, or is it because I was holding the plate like this for a while before I did this?
I believe that when your thumbs are connected like so, it calms the brain. I believe when you have your meridians, your energetic nerves, so to speak, they all end in the fingertips. So when you have your fingertips all connected, in a sense, your whole system is plugged in.
I see.
So it stabilizes the body, but it's not quite as meditative as this particular way to hold it.
Yeah, because as you talk about the plate like this, I as soon as I did that, I took a deep breath, and so I think that really is an example of the physicality. It makes a lot of sense to me. Now,
yes, it brings your physiology into balance, and your physiology says, "Oh, I can breathe," and then the way that the body-mind works. When your body says, I can breathe, then the mind says, oh, well, I guess I'm not quite so angry as I thought that I was. And then you start to think more efficient thoughts.
So is there anything we can do with the plate that's not so, like we're at work and we have coworkers around us, anything we can do placing it on our desk or under a file or inside a file with our hand on top of us, any of that? Is there anything like that we could do?
That's a clever one about putting it inside a file. I hadn't thought of that. In a situation like that, I would sit on it, for one thing.
Okay.
But if you're concerned that when you get up from your chair, people will say, what's that? then your file idea might be just the thing. if you have it, let's say, um, in a file, and you just place your hand on that file in a calm way that nobody would notice, that would be a way to do it, because these being energy tools are working with your energy field. And so it will work from inside a file, it will work through clothing, and so forth.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that? Any other practice that we could do? Maybe how do we, is there a way to like clear energy out
Mm,
using the neutral space? Clear the anger?
yes, yes. When people have pent up energy, it's often pent up in the solar plexus, which is the area just above the navel and below the rib cage. So you could take your plate and simply place it on there, assuming you're in a setting where you can do that, and just hold it on there for a while. It'll calm down the solar plexus, and that will tend to calm any uh, boisterous, angry thoughts that are flowing through you. And you could, as you mentioned also, you can always sweep whatever you want to sweep. You're basically sweeping, think of it as sweeping through the nerves or through the meridians. And so if there's something that feels pent up or angry or irritated within you, you can literally sweep it out. And at first, when you do things like that, you think, oh, I'm just making it up, and why am I waving this plate? But as you work with Powerforms, it becomes evident that you are an energy being, and these tools are helping you work with your energy. And so it helps you to get stagnant energy, whatever it may be, flowing out.
So the more you work with this, um, is it, are you, my sense of working with them is that the more that I work with the plates, the more I have a sense of my aura. Not that I can see it, not that I know where it is, but I have a sense of where it is. You know, that, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
You
I know
sense
it.
its presence.
Yes, I'm sensing the more I work with the disc, the
Yeah.
more I sense
So
that.
true.
And so when
Yeah.
I do sweep through, I actually almost I sense it. I sense that.
Well, yes. It because it's balancing your field, it helps you recognize your field as existing, but also it's teaching you, when you get used to what it feels like when something is flowing or when it feels balanced, once you've had that awareness, when it's out of balance, you become aware of that.
I see. So
And
for
so you start to recognize, oh, that good feeling, it's not quite there. Let me access that feeling. So
so
it gives you an insight. It's just like somebody becoming conscious of food, and they recognize, wait a minute, when I eat this certain kinds of foods, I don't feel so good afterwards. So it makes you more conscious.
so the more so for someone who's not used to working with energy,
Mm,
they may not initially feel anything with the plates. They might feel that I'm not as tense or I'm not as upset or I'm not
right.
as angry, but they're not
Yeah.
going to necessarily going to feel energy.
True. And the way some people express it, well, I didn't feel anything when I did that, but for some funny reason, I'm breathing more easily. Or I didn't feel anything when I did that, but for some reason, I feel better.
Or I'm not as angry.
Which is fine. I'm happy with for some reason, as long as it feels better.
And they get a result.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
getting a result. Okay.
yeah.
Well, so that kind of summarizes the neutral space plate. Joel, do you want to just go through those few little exercises and a highlight before we finish off?
Yes. So just to sum up, when you feel irritable about something and you want to get more centered, you can place your thumbs like so and just rest your plate in your lap or on your desk and just hang out with that for a few minutes while your meridians balance. Or you could just put all of your meridians, all your nerve connections in your fingertips right there, like so. And this, of course, looks rather like prayer position, but it's not prayer. It's utilizing something that balances your meridians. Spend some time with that. Or you can sweep stagnant, heavy, or irritable energy right out. And if you feel it somewhere, if you feel like you're hot and bothered in your head, well, sweep out your head. If you're hot and bothered in your heart or your solar plexus or wherever, you can sweep that out. So you can be creative with that.
All right.
And track where the energy actually is and track where you want the energy to go. So you're participating in the process. You're not just automatically just your mind is a million miles away and you're just going wah, 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 because this is a conscious process. And that's something that with practice you discover that yes, the tools can help. However, you are consciously engaged with it. So we're asking anytime you're working with energy tools to be present with it at least enough that you can start to feel something.
All right. Well, Joel,
Because it's energy that we're talking about. It's not obvious energy.
thank you so much for sharing using the neutral space to relieve pain.
Honored.
And we'll be back next time with another topic. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Candace. Be well.